Are humans solar powered? Are we as well solar powered like plants are? It's no longer a question, it's an answer. Summary of TED Talk Water, Cells, Life by Dr. Gerald Pollack, a water scientist at the University of Washington, tells us where the energy comes from that supplies our bodies with get up and go. In it, Dr. Pollack challenges the long-held explanation that the bulk of our energy comes from food in the form of calories. He provides an entirely new and very exciting paradigm, one that will open up new dimensions of body energy for accelerated healing and vitality, and he shares his unexpected laboratory results to back his explanations up. In it, Dr. Pollack makes two unexpected paradigm advancing points. Hold on to your hats. The first point is that there is a new form of water, H3O2. Just give yourself a sec to take it in. The news of a new form or phase of water is really starting to circulate. The old paradigm of vapor, liquid, and ice has been facing theoretical challenges for at least 100 years, but the three-phase paradigm remained a convenient knowledge package, given the complexities and doggedly unexplained mysteries of water behavior. Don't you love that water has unexplained behavior? Water scientists always speculated that water exists on a spectrum, but where they drew the boundary lines was more arbitrary than we first understood, and they actually missed one elementally important phase. Water comes not only as vapor, liquid, or ice, but between liquid and ice, there is a phase, a form that can most easily be recognized as gel. It's full of microscopic crystals like snowflakes, but not yet like ice, frozen in place. It's a shift from a form called liquid crystalline, sometimes called structured or ordered water. It has the malleability of crocheted lace or mesh sac. Granted, this phase of water is hard to spot as it takes place on a molecular, even a nanoparticle level. This science is so new, a name has not yet been settled on it, and scientists from Russia to Korea to Italy to the US are chasing the implications and meeting at the intersection of biology, chemistry, and quantum physics. It takes all those disciplines and maybe more to try to explain water. Our own body is full of this gel-like, shifting, stretchy, elastic, liquid crystalline form of water. Instinctively you think, yes, I can see I am more of a bag of gel than a bag of water. Quotes abound on how much water we are actually made up of, from 60% to 75% depending on where you poke. But in this new paradigm, if you line up all the molecules in the body and count them one by one, 99 out of 100 will be water molecules. Not only is your body full of this form of water, but each of your cells is full of this water, a tiny bag of gel water, linked up with other tiny bags of water, each filled with different instructions, DNA, and purposes, proteins, that cell structure in a nutshell. While we like to call the ocean or a lake or a body of water, it turns out that we too are water, working on providing the right kind of water for our bodies at this high of a percentage will have an accelerated impact. This is indeed a startling shift in information. One major implication is that gel water, or H3O2, to call it by its chemical description, can hydrate us more effectively than H2O, since it already matches the water inside cell structure and is easy for the cell to absorb. This new phase of water, besides its malleability, has another property that returns us to the question of where our energy for health and healing came from. We all know that water conducts electricity, but what if we learned that gel water, or H3O2, conducts electricity at a faster, more powerful, perhaps even quantum rate? It does so because at this phase, water holds a positive charge and negative charge, in effect turning it into its own battery with polarities. That means that all our little cells stand ready to receive and deliver energy. But what is the igniting source? where do humans plug in? Food is only a modest percentage of this process. Enter Dr. Polak's paradigm shifting point number 2. From his lab, he documents how light waves, especially sunlight and infrared, touch water through our skin and penetrate into our cells. These light waves are what split all the water molecules in our bodies into positive and negative charge. That is the exact point at which our cells are turned into batteries, jelly batteries. This light-kissed water transforms from H2O liquid water into H3O2, a reorganized molecule that literally becomes a highly charged electrified form of water. As light waves, sunshine performs magic on water molecules. It's actually the first phase of photosynthesis, one we can confirm from plant biology. Dr. Polak shares that Mother Nature did not forsake this great strategy for energy production and storage when moving on to evolve animals. And it was an accidental discovery. A wayward student in his lab discovered this by moving a light closer to water under a microscope, and they were amazed to see the incredibly tiny work of water separating into positive and negative charges. More light, more separation of charge. To retest their discovery, they even used the charge-separated water, which he calls EZ, or exclusion zone, to serve as a battery to switch on a light bulb. Think what a great day in the lab that must have been. And how ironic, too, light turning on light through the medium of a special phase of water. In this TED Talk, he gives us a taste of what is this energy inside the cell is used for, principally for the work of protein folding. Protein folding is how we get the signaling that allows us to stand up and sit down and every other function of our bodies. With more energy, there is more efficiency at everything our body does. In addition, inside our cells, there are not only proteins driven by water energy, but we know mitochondria are there also, thought to be central to our energy production, described as ATP function. Dr. Polak shows that mitochondria is a perfect H3O2 filling configuration for yet another inner battery parked inside the cell battery. So not only is there water inside water, there are batteries, mitochondria, with battery cells, very rabbit hole, and lots of potential energy sitting there underactivated in our indoor lives. So what does he recommend we do? He suggests drinking water, the very elemental material the light activates, which gives us not only hydration but energy. He then cites green juices as a source of H3O2 because plant cells have already turned H2O into H3O2. Therefore, we don't have to wait for our body to make this transformation. Dr. Polak has already studied turmeric and coconut and documented their energizing effects, which he will share with forthcoming papers. And he suspects that many foods have H3O2 water inside them, noting the more we eat those foods, the more H3O2 water we ingest, the higher our energy goes. Some other strategies he suggests are saunas, especially infrared saunas, with their light wave exposure and grounding, or going barefoot, which allows direct contact with the current of the negatively charged earth in a vast repository battery itself. So Dr. Polak says, why should this matter? Light matters for function, water matters for function. This TED Talk, Water Cells Life Answers and Questions. The questions, are we solar powered? I think we are, Dr. Polak simply states. This is by Gina Briere, Green Med Info on Bended Reality. Please leave your comments and thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.